Well, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Reaching Out, Secrets of the Buddha Mind. It's kind of a loose course on meditation. And it's not really about meditation, about how to sit still. It's about the things that we will encounter when we are doing meditation. Sitting still, with our eyes closed, being calm. And how this state of silence brings forth issues and how we can handle it. So that's what this course is about. And I thought we'd talk a little bit this morning about the chakra system. I believe in the chakra system. I didn't think too much of it at first when I first started learning. It just seemed kind of odd to believe that there were all these energy centers in the body. I mean, I was pretty skeptical when I first started learning about this. I grew up more of in a traditional way of thinking, but now I see that the traditions that I was taught were very closed-minded, and that they actually hampered me. But that's just my own personal situation. Each person's got to do their own thing, right? So very free. But anyways, the chakra system. I always do a balance of my chakras each morning. It's part of the meditation routines that I do. I sit quietly for 20 minutes, but I also do a couple other things too. But anyways, the chakra system starts out at the root. I'll go from the top. Crown chakra, right? That's the third eye chakra. Throat chakra, heart chakra. I call this the mind chakra. But that's just my own interpretation of what it's got to do with. And then you have the sexual chakra, and then we have the root chakra. So really, there are seven chakras, and really, remember how I talked about our energy? We have 100% of our energy, and the reason why we have multiple streams of consciousness in a way that keep bumping into each other in meditation is because just like a tree that is one being starts out as a trunk, it can grow into several branches, and those branches can become tinier branches until we have this huge, beautiful being called a tree. In a way, it's very similar with the chakras. We have our divine energy, but then it splits off into 7 personalities in a way. We have our root personality. That's the person we are when we're out of money or we're looking for a job or we're having some trouble, right? Our minds are always on that level. That's root chakra level. And that's why when we, balancing the root chakra is both a combination of getting the things that you need and in letting go of the things you don't need. So keeping a very simple lifestyle is very important if you want to balance the root chakra. Sexual chakra, right? We have sexual needs, and the person we are when we are sexually aroused is quite a bit different than the person that we are when we're looking for a job, like the root chakra personality. You see, then there's the heart personality, the heart chakra, the one who's full of love and compassion. We see that person at tender times of their life, or often it's hidden, but that person is that person, but usually in a state of protection and not letting us see exactly who we are. So we go up from the heart chakra, we go to the throat chakra. Well, actually, we got the mind chakra. I forgot the mind. Between the sexual and the heart is the mind. I'm sorry. This chakra is how we think, right? Our thinking, is it balanced, right? It's something that we learn balance in this chakra through all chakras through experience. But it deals with primarily how we think, our way of thinking. So again, then the next one is the heart, about how our compassion, our love, our sensitivity. From there we go up to the throat chakra. Once we hit the heart chakra, once we can sit in the heart chakra, we begin to think with more compassion and more love. And this is when the higher chakras begin to activate in a way. Because when we begin to think with compassion and love, we begin to use the throat chakra in a more balanced way. It's bringing balance to people. It's bringing balance to things around us instead of bringing imbalance. And if we notice our conversations, if our throat chakra is not in balance, then we are constantly nitpicking. We're constantly tearing things down. We're kind of, we're not building things up. We're actually tearing things down in a way. So we bring it back into balance where it's a love of all things. Because imbalance is not hatred, imbalance is a love of only a couple things, right? And because of that, we don't like a bunch of other things. I remember when I first started this process of figuring things out, I remember thinking there must be two chemicals that the body produces, one that says yes and one that says no, because I kept seeing things as binary, yes and no, good and bad, right and wrong, black and white, that the human mind was binary, and when this gets so stretched out of shape, what happens is that we become bipolar, because we're so polarized, right? But then I realized something, that the mind only has one direction, and that's in the direction of what it thinks is right. And wrong is all the things that oppose that direction, right? So when we choose a direction of what we think is right, we automatically create, as part of that process, all the things that will oppose our new path. And those things become what we consider negative situations or conflict. So you can see that when we choose a direction, we actually create conflict, because conflict is a natural product of choice, if that makes any sense. So when we begin to think with our hearts, with compassion, we begin to think in a more balanced way. We love all things with the same value, and because of that, we begin to find a balanced position where we're not choosing one thing over another, going with one thing and then leaving another thing behind, which is constantly creating conflict at the same time. From there, we go from the throat, we go to the third eye. This is intuition. And when we begin to open the third eye, we begin to use not only our own information, but we are also able to tap into the information that we are not connected to. It's us. It's us. Because, we mistakenly think that this is what we are. But like I said, this is the life that we were born into. All this life that surrounds us. And we are part of that life. Just like that tree, which is a trunk and branches and everything, that one branch may argue with another branch, just like one chakra may argue with another chakra. Your root chakra may argue with your sexual chakra, right? You want to go on dates, but your root chakra says you don't have enough money. So you have an argument, an inner argument about this. And whatever your balance is, whatever you love more will be the ultimate situation that'll come out of it. So from there we go from this chakra, we go to the crown chakra. And the crown chakra is the connection with divine energy directly, or which is our energy center in a sense. I always used to say that we shouldn't have chakras this way, from root to crown, it should be this way. Because really they all have the same value, right? And balance is in the center, and the center is the heart chakra. So this is the one I personally like to sit in the heart chakra, and because being compassionate and loving and kind is just a very comfortable place to be. But it is also where intelligence begins to show itself, because like the teachers used to always say, that if we're angry with something, if we're upset about something, it's because we don't know enough about the situation. If we go back and learn more about that situation, we will find out that if we had had that same thing happen to us, we would probably be doing the same thing. So that person has done nothing that we wouldn't have done. And so by having more information, becoming more open, we become more understanding of really everything. Anyways, that was my talk on chakras for now, kind of an introductory to chakras. I was thinking maybe soon I would show you how I balance my chakras. Maybe tomorrow we will do a lesson, or I'll actually show you how I balance my chakras. But anyways, I thank you again. I hope I didn't get you too confused. And again, any questions you have, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks again, and we love you all.